Gen 3 is busted. Welcome to part 42 of Pokemon Emerald. And as I talk to these guys, who I thought their dialogue would change because I tried to use Dynamic Punch, it did not. I should have known they're NPCs, duh. But I can say this. If you saw part 41 before part 40, that was a mistake on my part. You see, I thought that I had the scheduling working, but unfortunately, my mouse is acting up. So yeah, I gotta be careful about that. Especially later on down the line, so I might have to get another mouse. But whatever the case, we are going to be surfing again, and this time around we're practically going to be surfing and diving, getting to Sootopolis. I know, it is going to be a long and treacherous track, but I have to show this off so that people will know where to go, because you see, Gen 3 in their infinite wisdom, the only way you're going to get to Sootopolis is if you dive and there's a passage in an underwater cavern. Well, something like this, but not with borders. And this is basically dive from here on, and they also changed the dive theme as well, but get used to seeing dive, because dive is going to be a thing until Gen 7 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. It would be Sun and Moon where they will stop using dive and start using actual Pokemon to do the dirty work for you, and you don't have to even have HM slaves anymore. So yeah. Unfortunately, we'll have to go to Pacific Log Town too. So that's gonna be a trip and a half in the next part. I kinda don't have a choice, and we'll also have to pursue not Maxie, but rather Archie later on. Now, why am I constantly diving into random holes? Because, like I said, there are, that's the only way you're gonna get to, Sootopolis. But at the exact same time, there are hidden areas where you can find Pokemon, and more importantly, there are hidden areas that you can only dive into that has items that you can collect. So get used to diving. And I'm going to catch this Chinchou because, guess what? Water electric. I'm gonna catch that bitch. You best believe I'll catch it, because a Chinchou will turn into a lantern. I mean, it sounds... Actually, no, it doesn't sound terrible at all. I may have to buy some more dive balls later on if I'm going to catch some underwater Pokemon, but still. The, Chinchou is basically a good thing to have for Sootopolis' gym. Specifically since it's a water-type gym. What did you expect? And you thought I was joking when I said you'd probably have an all-water-type Pokemon lineup by the time you get to Sootopolis. You thought I was kidding! Nope. All the diving you're gonna do is ridiculous, and what I just did led to a different area. So yeah. Get used to seeing me dive, because that's pretty much the whole part, and I would understand if you skip this part too, like you do a lot of them. But, if you skip this part, I mean, you're probably gonna get lost trying to find your way to Sootopolis, because it is a complicated thing to do. I think this is an easier way for you to get up. Oh, and by the way, there's no timer. You could swim underwater forever. And like I said, you're gonna have to dive to find items. And two specific items that you can find while diving are the Deep Sea Pearl and the Deep Sea Shell. Now, Here is the problem with those two items, and you'll probably come across them later on, or I'll show you where they are later on. But whatever the case, here is the problem with those two items. They are actually the key items that is needed to make Clamperl evolve into one of its two evolutionary forms. The downside, you lose out on a scanner, which is only available here in Gen 3. So, with that said, you either have a choice of giving up either the Deep Sea Pearl or the Deep Sea Shell, or evolving Clamperl and losing out on a scanner that may be mandatory for you to find items underwater. And that's why I hate this gen so goddamn much. It's overambitious, and yet everything it tries fails. Like, for instance, the Monday to Friday plotline! Haha! And me surfing everywhere. I know you guys are so bored of me watching me surf, or so bored of my voice, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I chose this gen because I had to get through the gens in order. I could have chose Gen 4 first, but I chose Gen 3 instead. Excuse me. And do you want to know why I chose Gen 3? Just to get it over with. Because I'm not doing Fire Red and Leaf Green. That would constitute to me having to play Gen 1 all over again, and I don't need to play the remake when I've already played Yellow. So, there's no point in that. Yeah, I'm supposed to be going this way, by the way. I just realized that. And I have yet to get... Oh! That's level 34 Tentacool. And in a couple levels, it would have been a Tentacruel. But I don't care! I'm not catching those! You wanna know why? Even if I do, what's the point? Tentacruel may be awesome, but there is just one small little problem with Tentacruel. This game, this gen, created Ubers. Tentacool is not an Uber. I don't need to worry. I mean, that should not be a problem for you to catch a Tentacool, but that's not the point. The point of the matter is, this game does something that just pretty much makes poison Pokemon pretty much, how should I put it? Null and void. I mean, aside from their abilities, that's it. The abilities is the only thing that saves them, but even then, with maneuvers like Facade and maneuvers like Aromatherapy, I do believe Aromatherapy is in this gen, but Mist definitely is in this gen. What's the point of having a Poison-type Pokemon, especially when the majority of the Pokemon trainers have Psychic types like Staryu? As you can see here. I missed Thunderbolt. I should have gotten Shockwave, which would have hit him no matter what. But that works too. Barely hit him. I guess Shockwave will work just fine. I had to run into these trainers because they were like my landmark to show me that I was going the right way. Because there's a God gift around my door. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought someone was near my door talking. But there are the landmarks to show me that I'm going to the right way to get to that line where I have to swim, or should I say dive in, and go into Sootopolis. Yeah, it's a pretty long route. I know. But as I was saying about Tentacool, I really want to play with Tentacool as a Pokemon for my party, but unfortunately it suffers greatly as Gen 3 still keeps the differentiation from special and special and attack, and I do believe special defense and special attack and attack and defense. That's basically it. I mean, Gen 1 you could get away with using a Tentacool or Tentacruel. Gen 2, same thing. Gen 3 just doesn't really do favors for this. And not to mention, the only good ability you hope that it has is Poison Sting. No, Poison Barb, sorry, that's the one. And even then, by this time, even the normal trainers have full restores. So what's the point? I'm not trying to complain or anything, but I'm just pointing out the obvious. There literally are trainers that actually have full restores by this point. Specifically, if not by swimming or on the road, but mostly in certain areas. So there's no point in playing a Tentacle when the whole point of Tentacle's game, or Tentacruel, is to poison the Pokemon. Acid may be the best move you have. And I'm just taking care of a Carvana and a Staryu, which I just got finished beating not too long ago, which is why I'm trying to bring up this subject, to try to keep things from being a little bit boring, you know? Sorry about that. Excuse me one second. My phone went off, but thankfully the recording didn't pick it up. I had to make sure, because I was gonna like cut that off if it did. But thankfully it didn't. However, Carvana uses Scary Face, but that's okay. See, this is a double battle, so Scary Face only affects one target. However, I think Gen 4 changes that? It double targets, or was it Gen 6? I think it was Gen 6 that changed that. One of those gens. Whatever the case. Carvana's defeated. And now all we need to do is try to head over to where the areas are where I could dive, so I can hopefully get to Sootopolis and not take up too much of your time, because we have already been surfing for 11 minutes. I know. Oh yeah, and you can also deep water fish here. Yeah. I think we're getting close. We just need to surf around or dive around a little bit. And once we do, I think that's the rock we need to be in. There's an underground passage there that will lead us to, or around that area, that will lead us to Sootopolis, and hopefully it'll get us into the city. Because here's the thing, once we dive in there, and once we get to a Pokemon Center in Sootopolis, we could just fly there anytime we want. That's the whole reason why I'm doing this. I understand it's a pretty long and arduous part, and not many people are going to be interested. I mean, people probably lost interest because I'd make fun of Gen 3. Then again, Gen 3 brings it on itself! But just so that you don't lose interest, I'm trying to surf around and show you how some of these are connected, and show you that there are some other options to go, or some places to go that'll make things a lot easier. Yes, this is a torrential maze. But at the exact same time, this maze will pretty much lead you to where you need to go. And also will lead you to items. Sometimes there are items underwater. Not just having to surface and dive up. Oh, that's right! We actually have to go to the abandoned ship so that we can go and scan in certain areas there too. So yeah, we have a lot of things to do now that we could dive. And I do believe there is an optional area we can go through that will allow us to get stronger. And we need to get stronger because pursuing one as we are now is hazardous to our health. Especially all my lower level Pokemon. They will get crushed. They will get reamed. They will be destroyed. It's too bad that I think the most common Pokemon is Chinchou, but the rarest Pokemon, believe it or not, is Corphish. Corphish is barely going to show up here. So, let's see where this leads. I might have went the wrong way, but I'm checking to see where should we go, cause you never know. And of course I run into another Tentacool. The high level ones are okay, the low level ones, not so much. It'll come to a point that I'm going to end up having to switch the experience share to one of my weaker Pokemon, probably Pelipper. Because I know I'm going to need Pelipper. I'm pretty sure at least someone has a Ludicolo, and oh god, I ran into a Swimmer. Alright, who are you? Swimmer Brenda. Oh, this is just sad. She brought a Goldeen out. So much for experience. I mean, yeah, it's a level 35. It's like level 35, but still, so much for experience. Manectric's not going to learn anything more powerful than Thunderbolt until probably level 50 or level 40 or something like that. If I'm not mistaken. But at least Manectric's at level 36. And with max EVs, and on top of the fact that it's getting more points as it levels, it's gonna be a dangerous threat to Juan eventually once it gets to the right level. And by right level, I mean above 41. And why am I here? Oh right, I ran into a dead end. And accidentally ran into a trainer as well. And I went further away from my objective than what I was intended to go. Turn around, you idiot! I know, I messed up. But I had to show you where that led. So, let's just go the opposite direction of where I needed to go. Because again, I'm rather rusty. And let's see, I'm pretty sure this is where we need to go. Alright, let's just skip out on this Chinchou. We already got it. We don't need to fight it again. And we got something bigger than what was handed to me right now. So, yes. We don't need a level 22. I got a level 29. All I need to do is put it in the box. But then again, I got a Swablu in the box as well. So I want to evolve that. Anyway, I also happen to got a fossil Pokemon off screen, and yes, it is the bug type that is supposed to be there that I picked, so yeah. I'm gonna have to throw him in the daycare center too, and probably swim around and face high-level Pokemon or something to level it up. By the time we come back, my Swablu probably would have leveled up 10 or 20 levels, and my Sableye would have leveled up just as much. And just to be an asshole, I probably would have brought, probably would have put Sedinja in the box just cause. Just to be an asshole. But that would mean I have to go find Stardust, and that would mean catching Luvdisc. I don't want to catch Luvdisc, but I have no choice. However, I actually did find the goddamn area where we need to go to. Problem is, I completely passed it up. So, we're gonna have to either fight or flee, or we're gonna flee. And we're just gonna go on ahead and go into the dive area. Or face the trainer, whichever one comes first. You're not a mermaid. I don't see any fish legs. Or do I? Whatever the case, let's just beat you and get it over with. Oh yeah, I have a Meryl too, by the way. I caught one off screen. So much water Pokemon, yet I barely even caught any grass types except for one, which happened to be half water. Oh wait, I caught a Shroomis off screen too. I forgot about that. So yeah, I caught about maybe 30 Pokemon. No, 33 Pokemon actually I have in my possession. No, 34. And I do believe the box, no, not the box, but I do believe the National Pokedex calls for catching 200. Oh, actually, no, not the National Pokedex. Getting the Silver and Crystal and Gold starters calls for having 200 caught Pokemon. Which is actually pretty cool. Which means I could actually get either Cyndaquil or Totodile if I catch a good number of Pokemon, but here's the problem. It's only 200, and there's some Pokemon that are not available for Emerald. Yeah, Gen 3 is busted. It also requires you to trade from Sapphire and Ruby. Yep, Gen 3 is busted. And there's no way to actually there's no way to actually trade from Ruby and Sapphire without a Game Boy SP, no, Game Boy Advance or Advance SP and a game in the connection cords. That's it. Oh, by the way, this is the interest. It took me a long while to find it, but I found it, and we're here in Sootopolis. But as I was saying, trading from Ruby and Sapphire from Emerald will take a connection cable, and it takes a couple of Game Boy Advances SP or Game Boy Advances to do that. And that, at the time, cost a lot of money. Money people don't have. Oh, and also you can connect via 3DS. Oh, no, not 3DS, DS, sorry about that. You need about maybe 2, 3, 4 DS's in order for to actually get that going. It's, how should I put this, complicated to do that with a 3DS. No, not a 3DS, a DS, goddammit. 3DS only backwards compatible to DS. Meanwhile, Switch doesn't backwards compatible at all! How far have you fallen, Nintendo? Anyway. Only thing these two will tell you is about PowerPoint Up and Forest Star, none of which are sold here. PowerPoint Up is only available in Lily Cove, and Forest Stars will be available by Evergrande City. Or at least once you get to Victory Road or before the Elite Four, whichever one comes first. And this place, I'm thinking that there was going to be areas where you can talk to people, and they'll give you something, but upon exploration, that's not even the case. There's not many points of interest until we actually find Maxie, no, not find Maxie, find Archie, sorry, and then we have to come here. Oh, yeah, and for the record, I do believe Reggie Steel is in that area, or Reggie Ice. I'm trying to remember which one. One of those damn Reggies are there. So that means we can't catch none of the Reggies until the plot is over and until we actually defeat the Elite Four. Oh yeah, and for the record, this lady will give us berries. And what does she give us? Berries for, I do believe, I think those are Pokeblock berries. Oh, no. That's a Pomeg berry. And she gives you something else. She gives you an Ipapa berry. I'm not too familiar with what an Ipapa berry does, but I never had one before, but I'll have to check and see later on. Because I don't really use Ipapa berries that much. From the looks of it, I barely even use berries at all. And if I had some, I probably would have survived Norman. But nonetheless, this is what I was looking for, and this is what I was trying to find, the Pokemon Center. So, on that note, we're going to be coming here to save. And we're going to stop right here in the next episode of Pokemon Emerald, we're going to go to Pacific Lock Town, and then we're going to go after Archie. The only reason I'm visiting these towns is because I want to try to make it easier to get past Plot. See you guys next time.